Hi everyone, welcome to Joy as It Flies. I'm Teresa if you're new here, and today we're going to be talking about sugar and sugar alternatives. Is there anything more addictive than sugar? I don't know. And the fact that we are consuming so much of it, on average, we consume between 130 to 180 pounds of sugar each a year. Staggering. In the 1800s, I think it was less than 22 pounds per person. So, and a lot of that is not even us just, downing the stuff. It is hidden in food. You can't buy anything really without it being without hidden sugar in it. And obviously, there are lots of people that can't have sugar or need to have a low sugar diet or, are on a special no sugar diet, but they still want to have a nice treat. I had this a few years ago. I did the keto diet for a little while, and so I did investigate a lot of the different sugar alternatives, and that's what we're going to talk about today. I will not be including artificial sweeteners in that because I hate them. I don't like the taste of them. I don't think that they are any good for us health-wise. And there are so many natural sweeteners that are alternatives to sugar that are better. I actually, and this is a bit controversial, I think you are better to just eat sugar than have an artificial sweetener. Now, I understand that if you are diabetic, for instance, as I have family members who are, that isn't necessarily an option. First of all, there are alcohol sugars. So this is erythritol and xylitol are two of them. I love these because they are easily available in shops and they taste great too. There is a slight cooling taste, I suppose, at the end, which some people might not like. Doesn't bother me at all. It's not a odd taste. It just tastes like maybe a little bit cold. They work really well in cooking, and you can use them on mainly a 1-to-1 ratio with sugar. Xylitol tastes just like sugar. It looks just like sugar. It's really a nice alternative. Erythritol, if you eat too much of it, it can cause gastro disturbances for some people. I have never found this, but that's just something to be aware of, though that happens to me if I eat too much sugar anyway. So the beauty of erythritol is that it doesn't spike your insulin levels and is low on calories. Xylitol as well is low on the glycemic index and actually has some health benefits. You will often find it in sugar-free toothpastes and is reportedly very good for gum health particularly. The only thing I have not successfully been able to use xylitol for is making things like caramel, but in baking or in drinks or something like ice cream, perfect. Oh, last thing, both of those two, you can buy them actually as a powder, but they can be ground down and make a really good alternative to icing sugar. We all know how amazing honey is.
There you are. Is something wrong?
Well, I did mean a little larger small helping.
Well, perhaps it'd save time if you took the whole jar.
Thank you, Rabbit.
It's one of our favorites. It's full of so many amazing things. It's antibacterial, it's full of vitamins and minerals, and it tastes fantastic. If you get the good stuff. If you get bad honey, it's basically sugar syrup. In fact, I think that there is a new law being brought in some places to try and stop supermarkets watering honey down with sugar syrup. The thing to look for, I think, is if it says on the back that it's a blend of honeys, avoid that. You want to get something as pure as possible. As I said, honey, fantastic, so many health benefits. But if you are trying to avoid sugar and are on a diet, it is one to avoid, unfortunately. Like sugar, it's made up of 50-50 fructose and glucose, just like sugar. That means obviously it's not very low on the glycemic index. If you're using honey in baking, you need to reduce your liquid slightly. It's approximately about 25 mils for every 100 grams of honey used. Does that make sense? Next, agave syrup. Tastes fantastic. It's quite expensive, which is why I haven't had it for years. And is promoted, and has always been promoted as being a healthy alternative to sugar. And actually it's worse than sugar. It's made up of 70% fructose. It's more damaging to the body than glucose and will obviously cause problems to anyone with a fructose sensitivity. It's very similar to use in recipes. If that's not a problem for you, and then that's fine. Obviously, any of these, use what you like. This is, obviously. But if you do want to use it, you would use it in recipes very much like you would with honey. Stevia. Stevia is one that most people will come across. It's everywhere, and personally, I'm not a big fan. It has a very bitter aftertaste, which I really don't like. It is 200 times sweeter than sugar. So if you're using it in recipes, obviously you need to take that into account. You use very, very little. You can get it in a liquid form, you can get it flavored, you can have it in powdered form, crystal form. It is from a plant, and you can actually even buy the stevia plant. I did buy a stevia plant a couple of years ago, and I preferred that to buying it already in the, buying the crystals and stuff like that in the shops. But as I said, it is my least favorite of the natural sugars taste-wise. It's a really good one if you're on something like a keto diet, and is a very popular sugar alternative. So even though it's not one I like, there must be a reason everyone else does. Date sugar. So date sugar is, you can get date syrup and date sugar. Date sugar is made from dehydrated, finely ground dates. It's full of the fibre and nutrients that you would find in dates, and works really well in baking. It's obviously got that lovely caramelized date flavour, if you like dates, of course. It uses it as a one-to-one replacement to sugar, and works well in baking, but it does not dissolve in liquid. Therefore, if you're using it in a recipe, you need to account for the fact that it is going to absorb the liquid, and you're going to have to either remove some flour or add a bit more liquid. Maple syrup. This is another one very like honey, where you have to try and get a good quality one to get the real deal. It's an added sugar, so if you are on a sugar-free diet, it's one to avoid. But it does contain lots of the good stuff, lots of minerals and nutrients. The last one is coconut sugar. Now, this isn't one I've ever used, as I'm not a massive fan of the coconut flavour in things unless it's a proper coconut dessert or something. So I'm just going to read here what they've written down about it. It has apparently a caramelized flavour, which sounds lovely. It contains iron, zinc, calcium, potassium. However, like sugar, it is very high in calories. So that's something to take into account. Those are all the sugar alternatives that I can think of. I would like to say, though, that benefits to sugar are you get an instant energy boost. The brain loves to run on it. And life is short. So if you can have a bit of sugar, then fantastic, go ahead and have it. If you can't have it, then you still might want that sweet treat, and there are fantastic alternatives out there. And it's worth trying. It's worth having a go because, as I say, life is short, and if you would like to have a cake, you should be able to make a cake. And nowadays we are extremely lucky that there are so many alternatives. I hope this has helped, and I would love to hear your thoughts too. Have a great week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. So there are sugar. So why do I say so why do I say so much? Why?